Hello everyone, this is Aegon of Astora, and welcome back to my caster build playthrough of Dark Souls Remastered. This is episode number 6, being recorded on Tuesday the 5th of June. I hope you're all having a fantastic day, whenever it is you find yourself watching this. So my voice may or may not sound different to you, and the reason for that, as I've explained to all of those joining us here on Twitch, is that I got a new microphone for my birthday. I don't yet know how it's going to sound compared to my old microphone. But yeah, I do have a different mic. So obviously we can't proceed through the area just yet, not that we were going to. This is, of course, Sweet D's home. She is a daughter of chaos. And we are going to get our hands on the gold hem set. Shout out to Jeremy Greer, who in the chat reminded me that it's actually called the gold hem set and not the daughter of Ceaseless set or whatever it was I said earlier, as well as in the prior episode. So I talked about this boss fight in great detail in both my Dark Souls casual playthrough, my casual playthrough of Dark Souls, which I recorded on the 360 version of the game, of course, as well as in the Demon Ruins episode of Dark Souls 3 Let's Talk Lore. So probably not going to talk about it a great deal here, because we got a bunch of other stuff to do in this episode, but, oh man, talk about sad. That's all the sads right there. Shout out to Theomany for giving me OBS tips on Twitter. Hey brother. Or, I guess I should say, hey brother. How's old baby Buster doing here? He, of course, is using the orange shard ring to keep him from burning his feet. No, I'm going to reclaim the set that I left here when... Or the set that Sweet D left here when she went to go open a bar before everyone turned undead. Have you gotten a curved sword yet? We're doing that right after this, whatchamacallit. Thank you for reminding me, but yeah, that's something I had forgotten until I was editing this episode coming up. I completely forgot how the boss soul weapons worked in this game. And in order to get Quelaag's Fury Sword, we're going to need to get a curved sword, so we're going to pick up the falchion from Blighttown before we proceed for the rest of the area. Or before we proceed to return to Firelink Shrine. Okay, we're going to do this and try not to die, but no guarantees. Oh, you're right, Aresh. Sorry. Yeah, no, I'm tripping. Hello, Aresh, by the way. He's not using the orange shard ring. He dropped it. My memory is not what it once was. He dropped it, and it's the centipede demon that has the orange shard ring. And so that's, I presume, part of the reason why he looks so freaking miserable. Other than the fact that, you know, physically he's in pain, but also he is presumably upset at himself. What is voice meter? Is that the digital audio cable thing? Oh, brother. Hey, brother. Oh. Oh. So yeah, presumably he's upset with himself. because his kindly and loving sisters made him a ring to help ease the sores on his feet. And yeah. Alright, well, we might as well pop on our set. They have not fixed... So apparently they made a bunch of grammatical adjustments, I've been told in earlier episodes, but they haven't fixed the fact that these item descriptions use EM dashes instead of hyphens. Looking good, D. Not at all bird-like. Okay, friend, we're gonna finish you off here. I'm sorry. Okay, so now that we've dealt with that, and we have our armor set, we are going to use, I think, the Dusk Crown. Because Sweet D was at one point she won some beauty pageants in the lore of It's Always Sunny in Lordran, I suppose. So, yeah, she deserves a crown. These two egg-bearing hollows there are the ones who I think will give you a parasite if you wish to have a parasite head. That's a good question, Long John's Biggie. That's a boss fight that would certainly be much, much harder if you were using pyromancy. But it could also just be that they wanted to, you know, include a way to kill him otherwise. So I have been corrected about something I said in an earlier episode. I said that I wish there was a way you could control casting speed in this game. And someone correctly pointed out that you can control casting speed. It's tied to dexterity. So with that in mind, we're going to upgrade dexterity a little bit more than we have been up to this point. I want to see a pageant of the mutated inhabitants of Chaos now. That would be wonderful. Okay. So we have rung the bell. And now we are going to return to the bonfire at Blighttown so that we can go get the Wanderer set. Okay, so now let's go get the Wanderer set. I am very interested to hear, like, is that a thing with the... Oh, shit. With the blue snowball mics? Are they known for sounding tinny? Not a good start, friends. Not a good start. No! Just get out of the way, please. No, I'm dead. We're about to get toxic. That one guy blocking that path? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, there's so many of you. Yes, finally. Beautiful. Okay. Mine has no filter. It's a bit tinny. Yeah, okay, interesting. It's a bit tinny if you watch / listen to my Kuon playthrough. The difference between the mic and the mic on my PS4 is great. Interesting. The real test, and again, that's the reason why we're doing this, is that I think the real test is after I've done all of my usual post-production processing on the commentary track. Then we'll see how it sounds compared to my CAD U37. So now, of course, it's worth noting that the settings I use for post-production processing of my commentary track have been refined after, you know, with the CAD U37 in mind. So I am interested in hearing feedback on YouTube especially, but also here as to how my mic currently sounds compared to how it usually sounds. Because Natch, I use the mic on my PS4 and my PC, and on my PC. What do you mean by Natch? Thank you, Twiggy. Hello, by the way. So I don't know if we're going to do this all in one trip. And insofar as we are, it might be a suicide trip. Because there are a lot of dart blowing guys here, and they are the worst. You heard me. I like how they have like barrel armor. They've definitely pulled themselves up by their bootstraps to make something of themselves. Dart blowing pricks. No! Oh my gosh. Get it! It's right there! No, it was right there. Okay, I think we're just gonna make this a suicide run. Because I hate that spot so much. They really make you work for that Firekeeper soul. No, no, yes, we did it! We did it! That's fine. I'm okay with that. No, I think we're okay, Twiggy. Thank you, though. We actually had 4, so we could have used 1 there, but that area is just such a clusterfuck that it doesn't work out. When you don't have any poise and when you have very little... Although I think this set actually has decent toxic resistance, but we're just gonna go back to Firelink. Oh my gosh, Sweet D, what happened? What weird trick dart blowers don't want you to know. No, I'm good for items, everyone. Thank you. One thing that I'm pretty sure I have the wolf ring. One thing that I would accept if someone wants to drop it for me at some point is I would definitely accept the witch ring, the old witch's ring, so that we could talk to Sweet D's sister later in the playthrough. Someone did mention that her lips move. I don't remember if that was in the original game. I don't think it was. but I'm intrigued to see what that looks like. So we of course don't need this key because we have the master key, but key to the iron bars separating the ruins of New Londo and Drake Valley. The ruins of New Londo were blocked off from the cursed ghost. For the cursed ghost pose danger to life and spirit, and the legends speak of a terrible dark which was sealed away. She isn't grumpy, she just defends herself in the same way as a pufferfish, yeah. So the remainder of this episode will be dedicated to Rolling Ewok, whose favorite area, and I say that very sarcastically, is Sen's Fortress. So I might be sealing my fate in saying this, but my hope is that we can get through Sen's Fortress unscathed, so that, yeah, get a little bit of revenge or vengeance for poor Rolling Ewok, who has died in Sen's Fortress many a time. So for Rolling Ewok and for anyone else who's ever struggled with Sen's Fortress, Sweet D's got your back. Oh my gosh. So I played through Sen's Fortress yesterday with the Trash Man, and we got invaded at the very last, and this was after we had both died like 6 or 7 times. We got invaded at the very last guillotine trap, the very thin bridge right at the top of the lower part of Sen's Fortress. And the invader thought they were so clever, standing right at the end of that thin bridge with force at the ready so that they could, you know, blow us off. But what I did, I presumed the invader wasn't expecting me to make a run for it. Both the trash man and I were standing at one end of the bridge. I ran over to the other side, ran through the guillotine in like one fell swoop, went and dodged around the invader who used force. I dodged force and backstabbed him off the bridge. It was easily one of my best PvP moments in history.
Well, let me do it first. I'll be the guinea pig. Yeah, all at once. So you have to be running, of course. Oh, invader. Fucking invader, Rudolph. Okay. Let's go. Darkman.
Oh my god, you launched the snake guy like 10 feet in the air.
I don't know where this invader is, but... Oh, this is the worst place for this invasion! No! No, this fucking bastard.
What a bastard.
Okay, hold on. There's an enemy to the left as well that's gonna murk you if you step any closer there. If it... See? And I don't have anything to do with the enemy on the left. Hey, I'm just gonna go after this guy. Yes! Get fucking wrecked! Get fucking wrecked!
Well done, man.
Get fucking wrecked!
Well done.
Yo, that person thought they were so goddamn clever.
Ah, hello. Was it you who rang the bell of awakening? I am the primordial serpent, Kingseeker Frampt, close friend of the great Lord Gwyn, chosen undead, who has rung the bell of awakening. I wish to elucidate your fate. Do you seek such enlightenment?
Yeah, I'll agree with Hunter M in the chat that Frampt's skin looks very strange. It's like it's like they put an Instagram filter on his skin.
Very well. Then I am pleased to share. Chosen Undead, your fate is to succeed the great Lord Gwyn, so that you may link the fire, cast away the dark, and undo the curse of the undead. To this end, you must visit Anor Londo and acquire the Lord Vessel. I am pleased to see you well. Is it something urgent?
I guess we might as well trade copper coin we got from Mr. Bowlcut. There's really nothing else worth trading to him, though.
Those who seek the realm of lords must brave Sen's fortress, a deadly house of traps. Many have gone before you, but none have returned. Fate has chosen you, but proceed with caution. Farewell, chosen undead. I remain here and await thee.
Why is his title Kingseeker just another deception to his purpose? Well, he is seeking... and that might be a translation issue because in Dark Souls 3, the Lords of Cinder are actually, in the Japanese text, called something more akin to Kings of Firewood. So really you could look at his title as Lord Seeker and it would probably make more sense. Okay, we don't have enough souls to upgrade our weapon, so we might as well take on the Titanite Demon. Oh. Not an exceptionally good start. Ouch. Hurts a lot less than you would expect it to. Too many panic rolls. Oh. No, I deserve to die there. I mean, they translated Gwyn as Lord of Cinder. Why not Lord Seeker? To me, it's just a way of getting the chosen undead not to realize what linking the fire really entails. Yeah, could be. Could be. That's actually a very good observation. In a similar sense, in Dark Souls 2, you're told over and over again to take the throne and show everyone what it's like to be a true monarch. But it's like, you're not really a monarch. You sit on the throne and then you're incinerated, presumably. Not exactly treated like royalty. Beautiful. Didn't JSF say that linking the fire is akin to keeping the sun, metaphorically our sun, burning? I did not hear that, but I suppose... Like, that doesn't sound like an unreasonable suggestion. If the sun were to go out or turn into a red giant or a supernova, then yeah, it would mean that existence as we know it on Earth would be radically different. Either that or it, you know, we would just cease to exist. Hi, lizard friends, lizard men friends. Oh, you guys are not in the mood to play, are you? They will chase you pretty much all the way to the bonfire, which is always interesting. No. Oh. Not very good so far. Wait, do we have the wolf ring? I mentioned earlier that we did, but we don't actually. Whoops. Alright, let's try this again. Let's try again. I shouldn't have said all that stuff about dedicating this whooping of Sen's Fortress to Rolling Ewok and everyone else who struggled with this area, because now I'm just going to get my ass kicked, and I'm going to have no one to blame but myself. The whole point of Dark Souls is maybe this reality needs to change, or alternatively... Ow, my timing's so far off. Or alternatively, that we can't just keep... You can't keep using band-aid solutions to fix things that are really systemic issues. And that individually, you know, individual hero stories and things like that you hear... They make for good fairy tales, but they don't actually describe reality. Did we not kindle this to... Alright, let's kindle this. We're not doing good so far. I tempted fate, I jinxed it, all those things. Third time's a charm indeed. I'm gonna not try to parry them. Well, you don't really need theories to join in on the discussion, BVA. You can just provide your perspective on things that other people have said. Because really, no one comes up with things in a vacuum, right? And that was part of the reason why I made my channel the way I did to begin with, is that, you know, to a certain degree this is still true today, but, you know, I don't really pay attention to the lore discourse in most places just because I don't really have the time. But around the time when I first started this channel, the reason why I did that is that lore discussions elsewhere were largely framed as individualistic endeavors, such that when people were coming up with, you know, presenting their theories about things, they did so in such a way that it made it seem as though they were either above everyone else, or, you know, they came up with this themselves because they're brilliant, and all of these nonsensical things that, you know, I had a different vision and perception of how lore in these games works, and that is that it's a community endeavor, and that lore doesn't just emerge fully formed in someone's mind, but it's the product of discourse. And of discussions that we have with one another. I don't really come up with ideas of my own. I riff off of ideas that are shared with me, and vice versa, I think. Weird that you can't just roll into that one. I thought you could. Sorry, friend. Thank you for opening the gate, but I do need your Titanite shards. I'm sorry that you feel like throwing a tantrum. We're literally shooting fire up his butt. Sorry. Do need that Titanite chunk though. I didn't know that you could come up here for like the first year that I played this game. Nice view up here though. Well, I gave my perspectives on Bloodborne some time ago. Some were pretty well received by my mates. So then there you go. Everyone has valuable things to share. Don't ever feel like the things that you're contributing don't have value, because everyone has their own unique embodied perspective that is necessarily different from that of everyone else. So as long as you recognize that the perspectives of others are equally valuable and worth hearing and sharing, then, you know, the same is true of yours. Just think of it as, well, I guess the lizard man that was here before killed himself at some point. Weird. Yeah, Theomany, that's a very good way of putting it. Everyone's random tidbits might snowball into a bigger theory. Exactly. That is a very good way of putting it. The max upgrade for you get the Pyroflame up to plus 15, and then you can ascend it, and then I believe it goes either up to plus 5 or plus 15 again. Ash meaning memory, Toby? If so, then yes. So this is, of course, in addition to being Sen's house of torturing players, it is also the Silver Knight Statue Storage Emporium. Ooh. Hi, friend. I'm not all ready for PvP, but might as well give it a shot. Oh, come on, Mr. Lizard person. It appears as though we have a very nice invader. No. I don't know that we're going to survive this, though. They're probably thinking, oh, I've invaded a noob. This person does not know what they're doing. Little do they know, I'm even worse than that. I'm an experienced player who's terrible at the game. Why did I say all that stuff about dedicating this episode to people? I was only asking for trouble in doing that. Maybe that will mean that this episode is even better received by the people to whom I tried to dedicate this episode to. Because then they'll see that they're not alone in struggling with this area. Oh, that delayed attack. I thought we had enough distance there. Oh no! Okay. New plan. New plan. Pretty much the same as the old plan, except we're just going to run through things. And hope for the best. Okay. Yeah, strength weapons really does make this area a fair bit easier. Or really do make this area. Hi, friend. Yes, thank you. When I was playing with the Trash Man yesterday, I just couldn't get this guy to do his wall breaking attack. It's almost always worth it, at least at this point in the game, to go into the side path, if only to get the soul of a hero. 10,000 souls, can't go wrong with that. And if you wish, you can also free Mr. Logan.
You seem quite lucid. A rare thing in these times. I am Logan. I'm a bit cooped up, as you can see. I have a bright idea. Suppose you set me free. I'm old and empty-handed, but I could repay you with knowledge and sorcery. This place is melting my mind. The inactivity is repressive. Oh, heavens! Thank you! I'm saved, and I'd love to resume my travels, but I must log a few things first, and I owe you a favor. I will return to Firelink Shrine. Speak with me there, so that I may impart my sorcery.
You know, we've established in the past that Logan wears his hat because he's socially awkward. From the perspective I'm looking at right now, it's also presumably because he's not he's not the greatest looker in the world. I've said this before, but I imagine that I'm not alone in thinking that the Dark Souls 3 system of having the NPCs warp out is actually preferable to having them just be like, oh, don't worry about me, I'll be on my way soon enough. I have to log a few things first from inside of this cage that I just wanted to get out of. Logan is the only one of the NPCs we never see going hollow. Well, it depends on what you mean by going hollow. Because Logan definitely goes mad. Whether or not madness and hollowing go hand in hand, though, I suppose is another question entirely. You are correct, Aaron, in that maybe those two things are not separate. They're perhaps very much the same. So we got a Ring of Steel Protection here. This ring belonged to the Night King Rendell. It grants its wearer protection by boosting defense against physical attacks. Of the many legends surrounding the Night King Rendell, one of the more well-known, that should be a hyphen and not an EM dash, speaks of his standing down a giant drake and slashing it to pieces. So we might as well pop this on, because I feel like this is going to do us more good than the Red Tearstone Ring for now. I've been turned on to the idea that hollowing is a pretty straightforward metaphor for depression. That would not be unreasonable, I don't think. This is the A Khal Drogo sword. Shotel. I hate this spot. Because I feel like Siegvard would be much more willing to help us, whereas Siegmeyer just sits there. We probably should not have equipped Power Within right away. We might have been better off having the fireballs instead. Although that's not bad. Maybe I should try rolling.
Oh ho! Ah! Where did you come from? Splendid news, I tell you. Ah, so you see my plight. Yes, indeed. I've run up against a wall, or a ball, to be precise. I'm afraid I'm a bit too tough to be outrunning those things. So here I sit in quite a pickle, but who knows? Perhaps we'll have another development.
Comfort indeed. Alright, so I don't think we necessarily need to redirect the ball trap in order for that to progress his questline. I think we're good just having talked to him. Because for whatever reason, the ball trap seems to redirect itself anyway, which is something I've never really understood, how to permanently get it to one spot, other than just killing the giant at the top. Yeah, I would agree with that, Hunter M, that certainly depression fits quite well. But I think it's perhaps a bit more deep than that. How come he doesn't trigger the trap? So humans can hollow, but what about gods like Gwyn and the Nameless King who appear hollow when we fight them? Well, I think that it probably wouldn't be inaccurate to say that there's a general mechanic of hollowing and then one that is specific to humans. The boss at the end of this madness is the Iron Golem. So, a little trick here for those who are not aware, because yeah, I should be a little bit more cognizant of the fact that not everyone who's watching this will have already played Dark Souls 1 prior to the remaster. But if you allow the boulders to fill up in this hole right here, then we will get our hands on the Gold Serpent Ring. So now it's filled up, and one more boulder should do it. Love that. Let's wait for another boulder just to be safe. Covetous Gold Serpent Ring. The serpent is an imperfect dragon and symbol of the undead. Its habit of devouring prey, even larger than itself, has led to an association with gluttony. This gold ring engraved with the serpent boosts its wearer's item discovery so that more items can be amassed. I think calling themselves gods got to their head in the end. They're just hollows with extra powerful souls in them. Oh no, oh no. Oh, we're dead. Oh, why was I? No. Oh my gosh. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. Okay, we're alright though, we're good. Another thing that's weird about this spot is that the ball trap stops once you've passed it the first time. Again, I've been through this area about 100 times at least, but that doesn't mean I really understand what the heck happens here. That's stone lock though. So does that mean we're safe here? No, we're not. One of the downfalls of playing with basically no sound. See, because the ball trap stops. That's the thing that confuses me. There is an audio cue which can help I had to go and dedicate this episode to people. Like, I was gonna make it through no problem. No problem. Yeah, I'm dedicating this to all the people who struggle in Sense Fortress. I had to go and do that, didn't I? Oh my gosh. Why? Why did I do that? That's what I get for underestimating the serpents with the bleeding weapons. It turns in that room right after the hill, and it will keep turning back and forth if you hang out in that room. Okay, interesting. This room, okay. So let's turn it for Siegmeyer. I don't know if you need to do this. I don't think you do if you speak to him down there, but just in case you do, you might as well turn it, actually, yeah, that way so that it goes just right outside. Let's see. Oh, no, that's the wrong way. Pretty sure that this Zen person is an asshole. I would not disagree with that assessment whatsoever. Alright. So these guillotines you want to just run straight through. I'm holding the circle button. If you do that, you should be fine. I think the guy over here is guarding a large Titanite shard. Yep, 2 of them. And there's one of those, the bleed lizards. Over on the, oh no, it's just a normal lizard, never mind. No, normal, it's just a normal lizard. Yes. Just a normal lizard. The delay on that attack, though. That's how you know I've had enough, when he's great combustion time. Same for you. Lizard, woman, or man, whatever you are. So this is the spot where we had that invader yesterday, and he was right there, standing right at the edge. I rolled around him, dodged his force, and then knocked him off. It was friggin' glorious. Just a little bit more to the side. Rip. I do indeed like the falchion. Hello, Sam Samuel. But the reason we have the falchion is more so that we can get the... This message right here, or messages like it, are what saved me my first time in Sen's Fortress. So, ever since that time, we didn't get the orange soapstone. No! What I'd like to do is anytime I'm here, I put a message down here that says safe zone, because the first time I went through Sen's Fortress and got to that point, it was a message just like that, which basically allowed this to click for me. Okay, you go through the first 2, and then you stop in the middle between the first 2 and the second 2 of the guillotines. So I feel like we made this much harder than it reasonably ought to have been, but we did it eventually. The Crystal Cave messages are extraordinarily helpful, because that was another area where I was really stuck the first time I played this. What is through this way? I don't even remember. Oh, just a chance at revenge? Try kicking. You can just do that over and over again just to get back at them. Where does this go? This goes to the bonfire? No, it doesn't. But thank you. It goes to the bonfire by dying. Oh yeah, okay, I've been here before. Probably like once or twice at most, but that's okay. Because there is an item here somewhere. Here. Slumbering Dragon Crest Ring. Actually, very useful. This ring was secretly worn by a certain surreptitious sorcerer at Vinheim Dragon School. The ring is engraved with an everlasting dragon in silent slumber and masks all sound emitting from its wearer. No, Twiggy, it's been so long since I've done this area that, like, since I've done the full area, that I'd completely forgotten where that actually went. Yeah, we're gonna pop on the... And Sweet D's always been a little bit self-conscious about her weight. And the extent to which... And this, I think, leads into the tar pit. No. No. Gosh darn it. Worth it for the ring, I think. Well, I certainly satiated my curiosity in trying to remember where the heck that path led. And we got a Slumbering Dragon Crest ring out of it, which, if I remember correctly, you can also get that from Griggs. So does that mean you can get 2 of them in a single playthrough? If so, very interesting. Later on in the playthrough, there will also, of course, be a... Or not later on in the playthrough, right now, if we had taken the proper path... If we had taken the proper path after getting the gold serpent ring, the covetous gold serpent ring, then we could have got the spy set, the black sorcerer set. Beautiful. Can we not use that phrase in the chat in a lackadaisical manner, please, BVA? That is not an acceptable word to use here or on my YouTube channel. Oh, weird that I forgot that in Dark Souls 1 you can only really have one particle effect at a time. So you notice how when we have the Grass Crest shield out, it shows the stamina regen, but otherwise the much more pronounced blue particle effects that were in the original game sort of white. This is, of course, Chris Angel doing his levitation move. He learned in merchant school that if you levitate while hawking your wares, people will be much more likely to purchase items from you. And you know what? He was totally right about that.
Ah, what? What? Who are you? Ah, another undead, eh? I took on Sen's fortress alone, but I'm no different from those vile creatures. I was driven by conceit. Ah, you think you're different? That you can handle it? Yes, I remember that feeling, for I was the same. So, let me help you out, with your soul searching.
That's Large Patches, big brother of Trusty Patches. Yeah, Long John's Miggy, that's something once you see it, it cannot be unseen. The levitation, like... Look at that distance. Like, that is pretty impressive, friend. Even though you're such a crotchety old man otherwise, I am quite impressed by your levitation skills.
There's nothing more to say. I'm finished. We're both on the brink, you see. End of story. You bloody fool.
Now that we've bought something, let's see if he has any more dialogue.
Let me give you a nibble of advice. Don't even consider visiting Anor Londo. Not in your state. For a century they've tried and failed. The Night King Rendell, Black Iron Tarkus, and even Logan himself. You won't stand a chance, you'll be eaten alive. But go along if you wish. If only to deepen your despair.
Well, aren't you pleasant?
Go along, try and make something of yourself. But nothing will come of it. And I should know.
Alright, so we've been invaded. Hello. Alright. This should be interesting. Let's just try and match. Okay. No! Crap. I totally meant to do that because we needed this crossbow. Oh, Sense Fortress! Oh, I'm so good at this game. Honestly. How did I get so good at this game? It's like the sight of invaders has completely sapped any semblance of skill and experience that I have in this game. Aegon, the patron saint of foot and mouth. Saltgon of Astora is also an accurate way of describing it. Alright, well, we might as well go say hello to our, I guess not our country person. Patron saint of no poise whatsoever as well. I have a feeling that Ricard's gonna kick our butt. Prince Ricard? No. Prince... Why can't I remember anything today? Prince Ricard, not Ricard. Thank you, everyone. A rapier with intricate decorations, chosen weapon of the infamous undead Prince Ricard. Ricard's exploits are told in a monomyth. He was born into royalty, but wandered the lands in a fateful, ill-conceived journey. He became undead and disappeared up north. I think I called him Richard for almost a year. Ricard. Ricard? Oh, like Ricard. Memory's going, ability to properly say words is going. This is what happens when you turn 30. Or more accurately, 32. And now he hangs out in Archdragon Peak, naked with a crown, indeed. Although that could be like... It's not like you were quite wrong. Ricard is a reference to FromSoft protagonist Richard. Touche. Alright, where are our souls? Our souls are down there. Oh no, this better not kill us. That would have been the worst. I really shouldn't be parrying, so I don't know why I am, but that's really screwing up our timing. I was hoping for a Baldur swag sword there. We're not even going to bother with the stone plate ring because with how poorly I'm playing today, that Baldur Knight is going to obliterate us, so we might as well just continue onward. Richard, like Hunter will tell you, was the protagonist of the Echo Knight games and is the villain in Metal Wolf Chaos, among others. I have no one to blame but myself there for stopping to read chat. Okay. Let's finally go deal with the Iron Golem. Aegon halfway down, big fall, regret. Yeah, I really ought to have named my build as such, seeing as this was the first build of the game, but I didn't just because it's Dark Souls 1. But this really does go to show how... Okay. This message... Sorry to whomever left it, but... Should never leave messages in front of a prompt for something. That's my biggest pet peeve with messages. But it really does go to show that if you've gotten to the point where this game you feel is too easy for you, just go outside your comfort zone. Pick a build that you wouldn't normally pick. One that, yeah, forces you to do something different. In this case, you know, I have done caster builds in the past, but so infrequently that it really is an issue. At least to a certain degree. I think I should also have my Pyromancy Flame in my right hand, so then that way I can block while doing Pyromancy. Sweet D ain't nothing to regret. That is true. Oh, poor friend with his tantrum. Still haven't seen a single Black Phantom enemy yet, but we've been Gravelorded like constantly. Tried Dark Souls 1 with a pure sorcerer, no melee allowed. I feel like I would just go insane if I did that. So the reason you want to kill the giant there is that if you don't, it will be lobbing fireballs at you, or firebombs at you constantly during the fight, which is not fun. Especially because they're giant firebombs. We could summon Tarkus, but let's try doing it solo first and see what happens. One thing we could have done is we could have gone to get the Ring of Dusk, whatever it's called. Can't remember what it's called, but yeah, Dusk's Ring. We could have killed the Hydra and then increased our casting power even more, but we didn't, so let's just see how we manage like this. Ooh, Power Within looks great though. That really does look good. Oh, that was close. Indeed, sweet D. Indeed. This looks way different than it did in the original game. Another thing I'm not seeing is with the Way of White, those casting miracles. They look just like this ring. And I remember when I first started playing the game, they confused the heck out of me because they look just like the lock-on HUD element. So when you're locked on, it looks kind of like this. And it's obvious that they've done a fair bit to... It's obvious they've done a fair bit to try and distinguish, or make all three of those rings distinct. Or at least this ring distinct from the lock-on ring. But I'm also not seeing any of those miracle synergy thingies. I forget what they're called. Is there any reason to use Black Flame over combustion? I think Black Flame is more physical damage. I could be remembering that wrong, but also Black Flame is just more combustion to have. Because you can't replenish your casting in this as you can in Dark Souls 2 and 3. Yeah, Black Flame does physical damage as opposed to fire damage. Resonance rings, that's what they're called. Yeah, I haven't seen any of them. I guess not many people are using Way of White. Black Flame is higher poise break. Cool. Thank you, Reapy Soul. But they're white and harder to see. Interesting. Okay, wow, we made it through after far more trouble than I ever imagined we would have. So we see some normal looking gargoyles there. And then we're about to meet some not so normal looking gargoyles. What up, Anor Londo? Alright, we're going to go to the bonfire, and that's where we're going to end the episode. As well as the stream. Because this has gone on longer than I had intended originally to stream, but that was my own fault. For making pronouncements about my ability to get through Sen's Fortress. Without considering the possibility that I would die like 100 times. That's going to do it for this episode. So thank you all very, very much for joining us, and we will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.